Hi Pisces, and welcome to your September 2024 horoscope. We start off the month with Uranus going retrograde on September 2nd. Uranus is going retrograde in your third house. So you will be taking some time, most likely up until January 2025, to reflect on whether the local communities you belong to are truly your own or the ones society expects you to belong to. Whether the way you communicate is unique to you or whether you speak in a way that society expects you to, or speak about the topics that society expects you to speak about. On the same day, so September 2nd, we also have Pluto retrograding all the way back into the sign of Capricorn. For you, Pisces, this is your 11th house. With Pluto being back in Capricorn up until mid-November, you are going to be reflecting again on whether you have truly found your power when it comes to your friendships and the communities that you belong to. Whether you have really been able to stand in your power, face your fears when it comes to the future and the life that you imagine for yourself. The next day, on September 3rd, there is a new moon in Virgo in your 7th house. A new moon means a new beginning. Maybe it's a new relationship you're getting into, a new habit, custom, tradition that you're starting with your partner. This new moon has two interesting aspects that I think are going to make this beginning a little bit less easy than it could be. One of them is a square between Mars and Neptune, and the other is a conjunction between Venus and the South Node. The Mars and Neptune square is activating your house of family and your house of yourself. So I see this friction between you wanting to establish yourself as your own individual, your family also having certain expectations and certain time and energy that it requires from you. And that can obviously make it quite difficult for you to be able to direct your time and energy with your partner. And at the same time, like I said, we have Venus and the South Node conjunct. They are in your 8th house. And whenever we talk about the South Node, we're actually talking about habits that feel comfortable, but that maybe don't serve us anymore. So for you, Pisces, these are habits that you might have around taboo topics, around intimacy, around vulnerability. And you need to address these first before you're able to truly start this new beginning in your partnership. 2 days later, on September 5th, Mars enters Cancer, or your 5th house. This means that your drive, your motivation will be focused on having fun, on your hobbies, on doing things that feel good. But let's get back to this new start with your relationship, this new beginning. Because even though the new moon has come and gone, the moon is traveling through your other houses, the sun is going to be in your house of relationships for the majority of September. And while it is there, it is going to have some difficult aspects. On September 8th, it's going to oppose Saturn. And then on September 12th, it's going to square Jupiter. The opposition with Saturn, you might feel this pull between, but I really want to spend time with my partner, but I also really like being my own human being that doesn't rely on others, that can really just be independent. And then later on the 12th, when we have that square with Jupiter in your house of family, you might also feel like there's this friction between, but this is what my family wants, but this is what my partner wants. And this is how I've always behaved around my family. But maybe the dynamic that my partnership requires is something different. So we see constantly how you show up in partnerships and this need to create an equal partnership with a person being challenged throughout the month. a couple of days later, on September 16th, we have Mars squaring the North and the South Node. And we talked about the fact that Mars has entered your 5th house at the beginning of the month, your house of fun, pleasure, and hobbies. And now that it's squaring the North and the South Node, there might be something happening while you're at a party, while you're doing one of your hobbies, that really requires you to step into your own power, requires you to admit that you can take care of yourself, that you do not need to rely on another person, that you are capable of providing for yourself financially, capable of showing up for yourself, taking care of yourself. Then on September 18th, we have our partial lunar eclipse. So yes, we are in the second eclipse season of the year. This is also the final eclipse season of the year. The partial lunar eclipse is on the 18th, and then we have another eclipse, the final eclipse of the year, in October. So this partial lunar eclipse is happening in the sign of Pisces. The full moon in Pisces is about revelation, it's about realization or an understanding. About yourself, Pisces. This is happening in your 1st house. It's a realization about who you are, about how you show up in the world, how you dress, how you speak, how you present yourself. This full moon is happening in the sign of Pisces. Neptune is also quite close by to the moon. So the revelation might be more on a spiritual level, might be a revelation that's a bit more abstract, not very tangible or easy to grasp. But I know, Pisces, that you are one of the signs that is okay with that is quite good at accepting those types of revelations and understandings and incorporate them into your life. Also, keep in mind during this lunar eclipse that we have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde. So this is really a full moon to experience on your own, to experience in silence, and to experience while doing spiritual practices, whatever those may be for you. And like I said, Neptune is quite close by for this lunar eclipse, but it's not exact. It will oppose the sun exactly a couple of days later on the 21st. So you might continue to feel this more dreamy spiritual energy even after the lunar eclipse up until the 21st. The next day, on September 22nd, we have Pluto finally speaking up. Pluto has actually been quite quiet through most of the month. Remember, at the beginning of the month, it entered the sign of Capricorn again. But it is finally on the 22nd that it speaks up. On the 22nd, Pluto squares Venus and trines the sun. Pluto is being squared by Venus in your 8th house. So there might be something that occurs while you're being vulnerable and open, while you're being intimate with somebody, that asks you to reflect on your long-term thinking, on whether there are goals and things that you want for yourself, but that you are too afraid to reach for. At the same time, though, don't forget, we have this supportive aspect with the sun in your 7th house. So it's also like your partner sees that and decides to help you, decides to help you see that power in yourself, decides to help you in getting through that fear and being able to achieve your goals. And now let's close off this horoscope by talking about the final 2 aspects of the month. On September 29th, we have the Sun and the South Node conjunct. For you, Pisces, they're conjunct in your 8th house, and we have seen this theme come up plenty of times during the month of September. It's the theme of all of the limiting beliefs you have around intimacy, all of the limiting beliefs you have around vulnerability, being open with somebody, and how on this day you might see how they're really feeding your ego, how they make you feel comfortable and safe, but also soon after, that feeling might fade away quickly, and you might realize that these are habits or beliefs you need to let go of. They're not really serving you. And that instead you need to accept your own power that you have in yourself, the fact that you are stronger and more capable than you think, the fact that you do not need somebody in order to take care of yourself. Not that it's bad to be in a relationship, Pisces. That's not what I'm trying to say, but more that you can be vulnerable and intimate with somebody because you choose to, not because you need it. And then finally, we get to the last transit of the month, which is on September 30th, and it's a trine between Saturn and Mars. Finally, a little bit more of an easy transit with Mars. So Mars is in your house of pleasure and fun, hobbies. We talked about this already. And then, of course, Saturn is in your first house. So I really see this month closing off as, yes, it's amazing how through all of this you have tried to continue to have fun, try to go to parties, to connect with people, to have fun, to laugh, and you close off the month finally feeling like that is rejuvenating you. That is giving you some hope, that is allowing you to be yourself, continue to be yourself, and to be happy and to feel supported. So overall, Pisces, September is a lot of relationship focus for you, but as a result, also a lot of focus on yourself and trying to figure out where is that balance between being in a beautiful partnership, feeling supported, but doing that because of choice, not because you need it in order to feel complete or to feel safe. And of course, through all of this, there's some focus on you having fun and enjoying the moment as well. So I hope that you're able to do that during the month. Thanks so much for joining me, Pisces, and thank you for 1,000 subscribers. We reached that sometime during the month of August, so thank you again. And as a result, I have picked a winner for the giveaway, Rosie Roses 85. Congratulations. You are the winner of the free reading. Go to my channel, press on the community tab, and reach out to me down there, and then we're able to schedule your free reading. Thanks again for joining me, Pisces. Enjoy the month of September, and I hope to see you again soon.